In 1922, a messenger arrived at Howard Carter's house in Egypt to hear a faint cry from the hallway. When he opened the door, he found Carter's pet canary dead in the mouth of a rearing cobra. Local workers saw this as an immediate omen. The cobra was the protector of the Egyptian monarchy, and it had struck on the exact day that a pharaoh's tomb was breached. Welcome to PeoplePod. Howard Carter was the archaeologist leading the excavation. He and his financial backer, Lord Carnarvon, were standing on the edge of the find of the century. Carter's team had located the entrance to the tomb of Tutankhamun. Inside lay a treasury untouched by looters for 3,000 years. For the first time, researchers had a complete record of everything an 18th dynasty pharaoh took to the afterlife. But 6 weeks after Carter and Carnarvon laughed as they entered the burial chamber, the momentum broke. Lord Carnarvon suddenly died. Did the men who opened King Tut's tomb trigger an ancient, lethal trap? Or was this entire legend manufactured by the press? Following Carnarvon's death, the media coverage was relentless. Newspapers took a complex hospital case and presented it as a supernatural thriller, printing rumors that an engraved curse had been found in the burial chamber. Public figures helped drive the panic. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, publicly suggested that Carnarvon was killed by elementals, protective spirits supposedly created by Egyptian priests to guard the tomb. The fear spread through European governments. In Italy, Benito Mussolini had previously received an Egyptian mummy as a gift. Upon hearing the news of the curse, he ordered its immediate removal from his palace. The media tapped into a public that was already primed to believe that disturbing the dead carried a heavy price. This idea of a mummy taking revenge actually appeared in literature decades before the 1922 discovery. 19th century authors like Louisa May Alcott wrote popular stories that used tomb desecration as a plot device for supernatural vengeance. These stories did not match the reality of ancient Egypt. In actual tombs, authentic curses are rare and are mostly found in the Old Kingdom, thousands of years before Tutankhamun. When these inscriptions do exist, they function as administrative warnings. They were directed at the priests, instructing them to maintain the ritual purity of the site, rather than acting as magical traps for thieves. In the case of Tutankhamun, the record is clear. No curse was ever found inscribed anywhere inside the tomb. The legend was a European literary invention that was retroactively applied to a real archaeological site. To find the truth, we have to look at the medical records. Decades after the excavation, the Lancet Medical Journal published a thorough analysis of Lord Carnarvon's death. Carnarvon was already suffering from frequent lung infections. He accidentally cut an infected mosquito bite while shaving, which allowed bacteria to enter his system. This led to blood poisoning and eventually fatal pneumonia. The wider data supports this medical explanation. 58 people were present when the tomb was opened. Out of those 58, only 8 died within the next 12 years. A survival rate aligning with normal life expectancy. Howard Carter himself dismissed the curse as Tommy rot. He spent years working inside the burial chamber and lived another 17 years after the discovery. When scrutinized through microbiology and statistics, the supernatural threat disappears. However, the story remains compelling. Even modern archaeologists like Zahi Hawass have noted strange coincidences in dreams that occur while working with mummies, showing how the environment of the tomb still affects the mind. Scientists have investigated whether toxic mold, such as Aspergillus flavus, could survive in sealed tombs and cause respiratory illness, though its role in the 1922 deaths remains a subject of debate. The legend persists because a dramatic narrative is harder to kill than a person. Even when the science is clear, the story of an ancient king defending his rest is simply more memorable than the medical reality of a blood infection. Sign off for PeoplePod.